I don't know about you, but to me this is definite proof that advanced ancient civilizations did exist. Number 1, the Hathor Temple in Egypt, where there is a carving known as the Dendera light, which is a carving of a snake in a bottle and a jet pillar that perfectly resembles the light sources we use today. The snake in the bottle resembling a wire inside of a bulb, and the jet pillar resembling a box that acts as a receiver for this electrical energy. Extremely similar to modern electric technology.
Okay, I'm gonna just stop you there. So yes, it does look like a modern day light bulb, but this is a slight problem with when we look at really ancient stuff through modern day lenses, like with our modern eyes. We can sometimes see what we want to see rather than what was originally supposed to be there. I've been to Dendera and I've seen this in person. It's not just one picture of a light bulb, there's actually two on opposite walls. And one shows the light bulb being held up, and one shows the arms like almost going through what would be the glass. So it's not depicting a hard light bulb, as it were. It's actually showing something more cool than electricity. The reliefs in that whole under Dendera, the reliefs are showing you how to activate a building with energy. It's cooler than electricity. It's energy. It's a different source of energy power. We use a lot of electrics to power our civilization. I believe that previous civilizations, maybe the ancient Egyptians, used a different power source. So it's not electricity that they're showing you. It's something way cooler. There's also loads of symbolicness to the imagery that if you understand exactly why there's a snake, why there's a pillar, it actually makes way more sense than the fact that they would be depicting quite a basic light bulb. It's cooler than that.
Number 2, the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent in Teotihuacan. During a dig in 2003, an archaeologist found something very strange at this pyramid. He discovered a perfectly cylindrical shaft leading to underground passages beneath the pyramid, where they found these: a strange jade crystal mask, crystal eyes, and large quantities of liquid mercury.
They found
an extremely rare conductive element that we use in electronics and in vehicles, which is
interesting because, like he's saying, liquid mercury has a lot of functional uses. So it gives a lot of weight to the argument that these sites weren't just symbolic and religious, that they had some sort of functionality. Liquid mercury has also evolved a lot in alchemy. So there's a lot of myth and legend and lore about alchemy being able to do wonderful scientific magical things. Maybe we just found the playground for that. Yeah, this is true.
Same exact thing that 5,000-year-old Sanskrit texts say the gods use for their flying vehicles. Basically fuel for their flying craft known as vimanas. Keep in mind, this temple is made to honor a feathered serpent god which came down from the sky. Number 3, the Mayan astronaut. On the tombstone of the Mayan king known as Pakal, which is under his pyramid, is inscribed a date which is older than the oldest Mayan.
There is ancient texts in India that talk about and depict flying machines, and we just wave it all off as complete and utter woo-woo today, or like just stories, but there's a lot of ancient Indian texts talking about flying machines. Is it true? Is it possible? Is it possible that human beings with the exact same brain capacity as modern day human beings, would they be able to work out and maybe use a different energy source than we use? We use electricity and petrol and gas and things. Maybe they worked out a different way to harness energy and power. I'm open to it. Okay, let's keep going.
Mayan city, which is Palenque, and obviously older than the pyramid itself. But the strangest part about it is the machine that is depicted on the tombstone, which Pakal is driving. He's driving with his two hands. His nose is connected to a wire as it was somehow giving him oxygen, and the fire coming out of the bottom of the ship. You're seeing this too, right? Same ship, different places, different gods, different faces. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does look like it looks like it could be an aircraft of some sort. Again, we always have to be careful about looking at old stuff through modern eyes and seeing kind of what we recognize rather than what's actually there. For example, there are some hieroglyphs in Egypt that look like a helicopter and an airplane, but when you actually realize what they are two different hieroglyphs that have been placed on top of each other, and it really does look like a modern day helicopter and then modern day airplane, but I don't think that was what was being represented there. I think it's a case of that. This, however, I mean, not gonna lie, it really does look like some sort of solo aircraft. I'm open to it. I'm gonna do some more research.
These are 3 artifacts
Ancient
found
Rome.
from ancient Rome. Number 1, this is a 1700-year-old mosaic discovered in modern-day Turkey. It
That is
covers
stunning. I
9,000
didn't know about
square
this.
feet, was discovered while building a hotel. It was so well made it preserved the wave of an ancient earthquake without breaking the pattern. Number 2, this is the only
Yeah,
known
back then they
surviving
built stuff
example
to
of
last,
scutum.
you know what I mean?
Scutum was a shield used by Roman legionaries. This one was found broken in 13 different pieces, dates back to the 3rd century. Number 3, this is 2,000-year-old ancient Roman face cream or lotion. The object was found in a temple complex dedicated to Mars. It's the oldest known cosmetic face cream, and it still has finger marks in the lid.
That's impressive. I didn't know that. Thank you, at History Feels. I'm not too hot on the Roman period. I tend to stay like a lot older than that, but that was epic. I've always loved mosaics ever since I was a kid. Who knows how many mosaic floors, parts of cities that we just don't know exist because they're buried under something. Like, it could literally be under your house right now.
My friends, a new
I love this
species
guy.
of human has
really good.
been discovered. Found in the northeast of China, this is the Homo longi,
Dragon
meaning dragon man. Of course, named after the Black Dragon River where he was found. The Homo longi dates back over 146,000 years ago, and perhaps is more closely related to us than the Neanderthal, which of course was considered our closest relative before this discovery. Some suggest that the Homo longi may be a Denisovan, another close relative of the...
So in literally the last like 10-20 years, we have discovered so many different close cousins of Homo sapiens. Basically, if you didn't know, the timeline of like human evolution from like ape to walking man, it's totally wrong. It wasn't a linear line. It was more like a spaghetti junction of such close species, like human type subspecies, and everybody was breeding with everybody. And they've just found another one. They've literally just found another one. So now I think there is at least 4 subspecies of human. And they haven't even named him. He's just called Dragon Man. How cool is
another
that?
close relative of the Homo sapien, us. But for now, our friend is considered his own species. Now, interestingly, his skull was actually discovered in 1933, but wasn't brought to science till 2018,
Okay, the reason
and wasn't
why
named
it
till
was
this week.
found in 1933,
Regardless,
it wasn't,
quite
like,
the
studied
discovery.
until now, was because the guy who found the head hid it in a well for like his whole life, and then on his deathbed recently, he told his grandson that there is an ancient man's head in a well, and like basically he's kept the secret his entire life. So that's why there's been this like 70-year gap between finding it and looking into it. But I'm really glad he decided to tell the truth. Thank you.